of lavender. Take in another deep breath for yourself, from the toes right up to the throat. Inhale that which is good, and exhale that which no longer serves you. Feel the healing energy around you, around your head. And from this place of sanctuary and beauty, I want you to now send out thoughts to all those that you know in your heart that are unwell at this moment. Those in our healing books, in our churches that are closed at the moment. But think of those that you know that are having to go into hospital. Those that are also getting ready to transcend back to heaven. And know that their loved ones will be around them, that no one will be alone. That healing energy to those that are also our key workers, the healers within the hospitals, the doctors, nurses, the carers in nursing homes, the cleaners, the lorry drivers, the train drivers, the bus drivers, our dustmen, those that are keeping our energy, those that are filling our shelves in the supermarkets. Keep them well, keep them protected. All of those that I haven't mentioned, just think of all those individuals that are doing their best to keep our lives going as normal as possible. Think of all the charity workers, the fantastic efforts made by people like Captain Tom with the raising of that 27 million, and the entertainment night on television that raised another 27 million to be doubled. Think of everyone that's working today on the 26th that are doing their 2.6 challenge of running or climbing or just walking around their garden. Give them all that strength and vitality and energy. Think of Mother Earth, who is at this moment having some gentle rest from pollution. Also give thoughts to all of those that work for themselves, that are self-employed, that are going through stresses, wondering how they will keep going, wondering what lies ahead round the corner for them. Ask their angels to be with them and guide them and help them through this uphill struggle. So once again, we have some kind of normality. Let us hope that the toll physically will be at an end and there will be more freedoms. We appreciate the beauty of this garden because we know that we're not able to get out into such gardens at this moment. And we are thankful that we are still well ourselves. We also ask with our healing prayers that leaders of nations come together in unity for finding solutions, that all the bickering of the world before February and March of this year will just disappear into insignificance, and working as a stronger world, just as humanity, that will be stronger, and all the love, all the volunteering that has come out from this will carry on as we give that love to those volunteers, energy to those in need, hope for those that are in darkness and distress at this moment, that we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I just want you to have a couple of moments of quietness here in the garden before I bring us back. So feel that gentle breeze, that beautiful fragrance. Now our loved ones and angels are around us at this time. As we leave this garden behind. And know if during the next week we feel a little low, as we will, because there is fear and anxiety around, it's how we use that energy. Take us back into this place of serenity and peace, and just take more deep breaths at that time. And know we will return to that physical park, garden, open space, that nature will be waiting for us when the time is right. It's a form of hibernation, but know that once we come out of this cocoon, we will have grown spiritually, been more considerate of others, opened up our own spiritual pathway. So time now to leave this garden, to come back into our homes, back into our service, our divine service this morning, where we welcome old friends and many new friends that have been tuning in for the very first time. So whether you've been a spiritualist for 50 years or you've just found us by random selecting the television or the Facebook, then welcome as we carry on our service this morning. And then I'm going to introduce our son Ashley to us, who is going to be demonstrating his gift of clairvoyance with you and welcoming many new people, we hope, to this service. So if you can give your love and attention and say a big welcome from us all. Thank you very much. Ashley, welcome and good morning.
Hi, good morning, folks. Welcome to our divine service. I think we can do a couple of welcomes and hellos, and a little bit about the way that this online experiment and demonstration of mediumship should work. So thank you for joining us, wherever you are joining us from. If you are on a watch party, fantastic. Thank you to the person that is hosting that watch party. But please know that any of your comments inside the watch party will only be seen by the other people inside the watch party. If you're looking to engage with the mediumship, if you're looking to claim a message and confirm that you have a communicator, we need you to switch over to the Spiritual Productions channel, either on YouTube or on their Facebook page, and make sure you're commenting within the live video from the main channel. Otherwise, we won't be able to see your comments. We'll be asking Spirit to step forward and provide evidence of their personality and their life after that change we call death. I'll be asking them to give me evidence of who they were to you, things that you should know. So we've all got great-great-grandfathers or second cousins twice removed, but I'm looking for communicators who you will know, communicators that can prove themselves to you. And once you've been able to understand who that communicator is and you've accepted the evidence that's been supplied by them, I'll be asking them to give a little message. And that's the experiment in a nutshell. My job as a medium is simply to pass on that information. I'm very well fed at home, so don't feed me any more information. Just give me a yes or a no or a maybe. And once, yeah. So the other thing was I'm not reading any of those comments. I paused briefly then because our fantastic facilitator Richard in the studio is able to whisper in my ear. And what he'll be doing is he'll be scanning the comments on YouTube. Hello there, Christine Megan Woodham. That's my first circle leader. Lovely to know that you've tuned in from Spain to watch us, and good morning to you, Anthony. Tell us what is true. When you, rather than just say yes on the comments, say yes, I understand. You know, Fred blogs, my second cousin twice removed, or whatever it is. Amber, welcome to you as well. Richard in the studio. I've got a split screen at the moment. I'm missing half the comments. I don't know if you can change my view. But Amber, welcome. I think it's your first time here. Good morning there from Philshaw. Good luck and best wishes for everything next week, Phil. And Kim, Christine's daughter, Kim, welcome to you. Yes, let me know what it is you're saying yes to. And once someone has been able to accept a communicator, try and free up the comms for them so that they're able to engage with Richard and accept different bits of the message. We believe that there's approximately a 2-minute delay for those of you watching on YouTube. Janice Craven, good morning to you. So if you're on YouTube and you're claiming a message, know that it's going to take approximately 2 minutes for Richard to see that comment, because you're 2 minutes further down. Facebook, which is more live, still has a 10-second delay, and that's 10 seconds after I've spoken that you're seeing it, the time for you to type, the time for Richard to see that and then put it up on the screen. So I'll try and bear with that process, and all I need is your enthusiasm, and hopefully your enthusiasm knows no bounds this morning, as it's lovely to work with you all and spirits. Kim Fanda, good morning to you, Kim, from Kent. Kim, I know, and I knew her partner Yvonne. Yvonne, I know, is watching from Spirit, Kim, and sends you her love. I feel I've got a lot of our friends that come and go. For those that never see me work together, thank you, Andrew. You'd love a message. Let's see. Encourage your communicators to come through. For those that have never seen me work before, my name's Ashley Robinson. I'm based down in South London in Wimbledon. That was my mum and dad introducing the service. And I was lucky enough to be born into a spiritualist family. And I consider my blood family and my church family very much in the same belief. Morning there to Neil. What I do with my mediumship is a real honour. It's a privilege. But these communicators are yours. Spirits are with you. They've come with you today, and they'll go home with you. So for those that don't get a message today, know that your loved ones are listening. They are around you. My job is to try and prove some of those lives after death. We're not going to get around to all of you today. I don't know how many people we've got actually with you at the moment, but there's no way everyone's going to get a message. But know that they're with you. Okay, I think there's about 300 people right now watching it live. Christina, good morning to you and welcome. And for those tuning in from outside of South London, do let us know where you're from. It's really interesting to see who is watching this divine service. And once this all blows over, we look forward to perhaps welcoming you at the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church one time. Okay, so that's probably enough theory and background from me. Let's get a couple of our communicators through. Okay, so I've got a man communicating with me. This man is family. He's talking about being father. He's taking me towards the left-hand side of his chest, around his heart, and I think he's telling me that he passed with a heart attack. Good morning there, Jill, from Mitcham. So I'm looking for someone that would understand father in the spirit world that passed with a heart attack. He's given me the letter F. Paula, welcome from Sutton. F for Foxtrot. I've got a Freddie perhaps. Frederick name, which is symbolic to him. So looking for someone to understand father, spirit world, heart attack. Letter F of the name Fred is symbolic to him. 1982, which is, I want to go back about 37 years. I don't know why 37 years is important to him. 38 this year, if that is a date of birth of a child, or if that is a date of birth of a relative, that 1982 is an anniversary. Hello there, Della. Okay, Jill Ball, hi there. I think the red logo means you're tuning in from YouTube, so you're about 2 minutes behind us. I think what you're saying is you accept father in the spirit world. You understand the letter F. You understand the heart attack. 1982 being important as well. Jill, as this man communicates with me, he's dressed in his Sunday best. And the reason he talks about being in his Sunday best is I feel like I've got what he's describing is almost like a limited wardrobe, but I've got things that I would have put on. And I feel that on a Sunday, and he's talking about the fact to have gone into church, I would have required a jacket. But he's also saying this, I wouldn't have been a frequent person. I wouldn't have been a frequent attender of church per se. But he's talking about dressing up for Sunday. And he's talking about dressing up for dinner, as if to go for a Sunday dinner is something he would enjoy. He's talking about almost dressing for that occasion. Grandad past 38 years, Paula there as well. I do think that I am with Jill, Paula, but if the rest of the evidence makes sense confirming the feedback, perhaps we've got two communicators here. But Jill, I do think I'm with yes, as you've got your man here claiming to be your dad saying yes. I know her. I know her. Okay. This jacket is almost like a brown jacket, and he's poking in what looks like a yellow handkerchief, and he's taking almost a ceremonial approach to this. He's talking about the fact that it's like the discipline. I don't know if I've been involved in a discipline service, like the armed services or the military, the police services, something like that. But he's giving me this sense of discipline and attitude and mind and sort of culture. Okay, he presents some lovely yellow flowers. See what look like what I would describe as sort of yellow roses, Jill. And he wants to say that these are for you, but I feel that you've had some flowers recently for me in a vase that have been presented. And he's recognising the fact that you've put up these flowers for him. He's returning the gift, and he's giving you that symbolic of yellow. He's surrounding you with love and light and the beauty of that sun. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I just changed the screen. There we go. Right, perfect. I can see everyone now. So going blind. Thank you, Richard, for whispering in my ear. Jill, that was your communicator, your father, and that was your message. Hopefully, you're able to accept that. I know you're 2 minutes behind us, but hopefully you'll get some confirmation that all of that made sense. I wasn't sure, Richard, whether or not the Jill had accepted any other evidence. I'm not sure if that 1982 was referenced to something else. Keep losing the screen. It's really frustrating. Okay, give him. Okay. Let's bring in the next communicator. I think my mum and dad are Skyped in from their place in Mitcham. So occasionally when they rustle or make a noise, it brings up their screen. So I can't see anything on the screen. But I'm trusting in spirits. Richard, what was the screen? The message you just put on the screen before Julie. Hello, Julie. There's one before that. Okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, if people are making comments, I've got my guide, my principal guide is a guy called Bob, and he's trying to organise all of our communicators for us. It's almost like a waiting room. I call it the waiting room in heaven, and he works. Yeah, Gremlins definitely. He works in a way where he's going to try and take full advantage of this. He's going to try and make sure that the communicators are lined up, ready with their evidence, and there's that constant sort of reminder there. About if you're in a watch party and you want to accept a message, we won't see that. Okay, so next communicator. Yeah, I think that I had two communicators come up. Hi there, Janice. So the 1982 grandfatherly, I think that was with Paula. She understood that, and wasn't sure whether or not I was getting the letter F there with him, or with that first, no, okay, F was the first communicator, and that was with Jill. So Paula, man here claiming to be grandfather, he's talking about 1982. He's obviously going back some time for sort of passing. I feel that with him, I've had an injury before I've died. He's talking about, I don't know if I've had a fall, or I've had something, some sort of collision, some sort of, so I've bashed my head. I feel like I've had a slip or a trip, and I've fallen before I've actually died. And I feel like I've banged and I've bruised the top of my head. And I've got these links to North Surrey, showing me like a map, sort of north of Box Hill, is sort of map that he's circulating. So Paula, would you understand that about your grandfather? Okay. And Richard just said to me, if you're claiming a message, or you're giving me confirmation, can you say what it is you're saying yes to? But thank you, Paula, for accepting that. As this man communicates, he's talking about okay, and the 1982. I said it was actually the year I was born, but he's talking about the fact that he died before I was born. So I was born in September. He's taking me back around the summer, or certainly an anniversary of his birthday around the summer. As he links with me, he's saying, I've been gone a while, but I've not been forgotten. He feels that he has been a constant thread through the family. He's talking about the fact that his great grandchildren would know him and know of him. You've shown him photos. You threaded me in to their lives to the point that you would show an old photo and ask them who they are, not just tell them. And I want to give you confirmation that I'm known to them from the spirit world, certainly when they were much younger. And I feel I've possibly even got great grandchildren, but I've got children in the family that have seen me and would say to you, I've seen him. And rather than using great granddad or great granddad, it's just about talking about granddad. Okay, he's given me the letter L. I think he's given me a name. Is it Larry? Is possibly the name that he's reaching out to, the name that he is giving there. No, it's like lay about Larry. He's talking about, I think this would be a great grandson. I want a young man on your side of the family, Paula, and he's wanting to just give him a bit of motivation. He's saying, I want to kind of squirt him with a bit of WD-40 and bring him back into life. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I want to give him a bit of an injection of WD-40. I want to loosen him up, and I know that we're in restricted conditions and lockdown at the moment. But there's this sense that his mind, his attitude, his culture, all needs a little bit of adjusting. And he's wanting to recognise that situation with you, Paula, and saying that it will come. He's showing me a clock, and he's saying with time it will come. We're working on this end as well, and I'm applying that little bit of WD-40. Let's loosen him up and tweak him and adjust his attitude and culture, because he's a good lad. Okay, Paula, that was your communicator, your grandfather. Thank you for accepting the evidence, and that was your message. Thank you very much. Okay, let's release my son. Needs to bottle the book. Okay, thank you, Paula, for that confirmation. Okay, I've got a lady communicating with me. This lady is family. She's given the name Sass. Is it Sally? Sass is I don't know if she's talking about with Sass or Sally. I feel like I've got a Sally, and I feel this is her name as opposed to a name that's it could be a link there. This lady is family. She's talking about a cancerous type condition, and she's taken me to the top of her body with this cancerous type condition. Family. Auntie. I'm mother. Auntie. Why don't you say auntie? I've possibly got a niece on here. Heidi, morning to you. Welcome. So I think this lady communicating is talking about certainly being an auntie, possibly got a niece that would understand this message. Sally or Sass linking in with her, and she's also given me this cancerous type condition in the top of her body. Okay, so we got and that would make sense with the answer. So we got someone. Sorry, did you say Nina, Richard? Sally. Yeah, so Nina can accept the Sally sister. Sally, my sister. Thank you, Tina. Welcome, Tina Carl. So this lady you'd understand the sibling, auntie. I'd want then children on your side of the family, Tina, and possibly this niece, because she was giving me this feminine sort of energy. And understand that with the cancerous type condition on the top of the body. Birthday coming up, and I feel like it's possibly, so this would be either your children or one of your nieces, Tina. I've got a birthday. I feel like I've got a birthday either coming up or just gone, like a lockdown birthday is what she's talking about. I feel like I've either just missed a birthday or she's going to miss out on what she wanted to do, something significant there, a big sort of a bigger milestone, a bigger birthday. Okay, so definitely her daughter, yes. That'd be your niece then, and that would you understand the birthday? So I know that Richard's telling me on the comments there's a few people that would understand this. Let me try and get some more specific evidence of the communicator before I get on the message. But Tina, I think you're accepting all of this at the moment. So we've got the lady, it's the family, we've got this sibling type relationship with an auntie and a mother. You've understood your niece being the daughter. I feel like I've got the missed birthday, the lockdown. Johnny, Georgia, really, mate. Okay. Something else. Okay, so there's someone else, I think, claiming it. Let me get something then specific which can separate. May. I'm asking when she passed, and I feel like I've got a spring passing of her. I've got the anniversary of her passing just coming up, but I've also got a birthday that's just been missed right here. So in between, I think I'm with Nina, but okay. I'm listening to Spirit as opposed to Richard this time. I'm separated. And the cancer, I feel like I've got lung or chest or breast cancer. It's right up the top of my body, and I feel like I've got a spread, and I've had some type of infection into my blood or my nose. It's something like that. Okay, so Tina, I think you're still accepting this. Okay, what was the name of the other person that's taking it? Kirsty Reynolds. Okay, let me try and separate this. My mum-in-law talking about SAS. My daughter says her granddaughter's cancer to her body. Yes. Right. Okay. Let's walk. It was going to be a walk. There was going to be a charitable walk in celebration of my life, which has been postponed. And there's some sort of fundraising that's going on right now. She's shaking the tin. Her birthday was April and lockdown too. Okay. So between the three of you then, one of you in the family have missed this opportunity of doing some sort of sponsored walk or run right now, and there's people that are raising money. So about raising money on Facebook. She's showing me like the online tradition. Someone's raising money. This would have been a walk in celebration of my life. It's been turned into a bit of a fundraiser. I don't know if this is cancer research or something like that. I've got those logos. Just Giving or something like that is a celebration. Yes, okay. Pauline and Kirsty both said. You don't know the same woman in spirit, do you? Outside of that, I'm honestly. We've also got Nina. Okay. Right. Okay. Possibly got multiple communicators here with similar information. Let me describe this woman, Kirsty. Tina, and she got septics. Okay, so Tina, the lady with you is your sister, passed with cancerous type conditions, sepsis in the blood. You understand that, and you understand the birth and the celebration. This is your sister coming through. She's talking about her daughter and granddaughter being survived. She's talking about missing the birthday, but not missing the celebration. I feel like there's been something that lots of us doing now. I feel like I've had a happy birthday over some type of video conference. So Tina, with you, I feel she's talking about the cancer being a bit of a long haul thing. I feel like I've had a life limiting condition, Tina, with your sister, with the cancer. And she's talking about going into a shock, a body into shock, and the sepsis taking her out very, very quickly. It's becoming very dramatic very quickly, and her passing away with that. Pauline and Kirsty. Kirsty, you understood this lady as well. This is a separate communicator, though. They're saying that they don't know you. I sold painting online Facebook church. Just give. Okay, so you've got the confirmation there of the charity link, and she's talking about being quite rolled up. There's been, Kirsty, you've had a huge celebration of her life as a result of this, and you felt like you've wanted to do something to mark that, something to do. And she's also talking about this inspiring your creativity, but rather than new creativity, she's talking about this being like a rekindle, a revitalization of this. You having the time, she's saying, to do the painting, and you enjoying that. She's also taking me to your mind's eye, Kirsty, and she's talking about you being almost inspired, about not knowing what you were going to do, and painting straight on. It's almost like the canvas, and being inspired around that. And Kirsty, she's saying that she was close to you and she was around you. There was a moment, she said, that when almost like an auction or something, when the money has gone through, she's talking about you crying. I don't know if she's showing me you, Kirsty, almost like in front of a computer, like a computer screen. And she said that you're sort of crying and almost sort of tears of joy in knowing that some money is going to go a good way. Thank you, Kirsty, for accepting that. She said that she was with you. She was enormously close to you there. And she's talking about your right-hand side. I don't know if this was right by your ear or your hair, almost like she tried to stroke you, and you sort of almost turned as if someone was there in your sort of your blind side. And she said she was there. She was extremely close to you. She felt very, very close to you at that precise moment. But she's enormously fond of you, and she's saying thank you. Thank you for continuing to celebrate my life, Kirsty. Thank you for doing this in my memory and raising good money, and also taking some pride in yourself. You're very talented. She's talking about you drawing and doing more and more painting, and her wanting to encourage that. She's talking about you taking the best of the opportunity and dusting off some of the materials, but she's also shown what looks like an online shopping cart or basket of some sort, and she's wanting to say, do it, buy the extra materials, make some space to do this, and do more of it. Do it for you, not just for charity. So Tina, you've understood your sister. Kirsty, accepting that, enjoy it. Yes, it's Kate. So it's Katie, not Kirsty. That's all right. Richard apologizes for giving the number, but Spirit could have corrected me anyway. You've understood that communicator with the painting, so carry on doing that. Pauline, I think that your communicator was talking about the sponsored walk. So touched and proud to help. Well done, Katie. Thank you for accepting that message. Pauline, I think your third communicator, all three of these women, enormously powerful women, and really, girl power is Pauline, is what your communicator is saying. She's talking about, three strong women coming together and having a bit of a laugh and a giggle about this. Pauline, with your communicator, she's quite cheeky. She comes across with a wonderful sense of humour, and she's showing me herself with little rosy sort of cheeks and she's sort of shaking a little tipple as if she's had a little bit of drink and a bit of Dutch courage, she said, to sort of come and to speak. But she's talking about just having a little taste and sort of building up her confidence. She was the one that was talking about the sponsored walk, and she was talking about people raising money in those funds. But I feel like I've got people linking and communicating with each other as part of a continued fundraiser for that, almost like people are trying to do the same miles or the same amount of steps. Online business taking off like a rocket during lockdown. Well done, Katie, for the online business. Share the link on these comments and on the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church page. We'll share that as well. Fantastic work. Pauline, you've given me an X, which is either shut up and stop or kiss, and you accept it. I'm going to accept the kiss, and you're saying she is. Okay, so you understand your communicator as well. And you'd understand the personality and traits of these three women and why they've almost sort of come together, because they're actually having some fun. All three of them, actually. So Tina, Katie, Pauline, they're all saying that they're enjoying themselves. And they're using the word again. It's almost like heaven is exactly what we need it to be, which is the constant message I get from heaven. But we're having some fun. And at that moment, it's like we're enjoying the sunshine. We're grounding our feet. All three of them have kind of kicked off their sandals. They're feeling the earth. They're enjoying the sunshine and the glow. They're enjoying being around people. People are slowing down and being quite close. And Paulie, your communicator was saying it's been brilliant, because we say about slowing down. I've got people like running steps and little marathons at home, almost trying to add up all the mileage like a baton in sort of memory of my life, in celebration of my life, Pauline. And she's enormously proud of that. She's saying that people aren't letting this get the best of them. They're taking advantage. I feel there'd been some training. I feel there was a younger lady that was going to do the walking or the running of some sort of that. And I feel that there was an element of training, and we've tried to, even with this exercise, in the hope that something was going to go on. And I feel that it's only recently cancelled. Like the event anniversary is just sort of passed. But Pauline, she's enormously proud of everyone. She says, honestly, for those that don't know, Pauline and I do know each other. She's a working medium and serves our church as well. She says that this is confirmation for you. You know, you felt her around you, and you felt her with the thumbs up, sort of saying, how proud it is. This is extra confirmation for you. Pauline, as a sort of side of that, she also gives you confirmation of a silver wolf. And I'm asking her what this really means. And I feel I've got some sort of spiritual guidance associated with that. But this silver wolf or this silver fox also is metaphoric. And she's talking about a man alive. And I feel like this sort of tall, dark and handsome man with this sort of silver fox, this grey hair, a good flock of hair, she says. And she's giving him a little wink. So this is someone that you would know, and she would be very approving of as well. And she gives a cheeky little wink, and she wants you to continue to pursue your happiness, Pauline. So Tina, Katie and Pauline, sorry for the initial confusion about the evidence and the communicators. I feel we have separated the communicators now, and to know these women are enormously fond of you. They send their love, they're around you, they're looking after the extended family and the friends, enormously proud of other things that people are doing. But Tina, Katie and Pauline, those were your communicators, and that was your message. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. Spot on message. Oh no, that's her granddaughter who she adored. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Katie, for that feedback. Okay.
Don't keep telling him how good he is. He want to get paid.
Sorry, Richard, I didn't hear that. Oh, okay. I was just getting a nudge from the studio. You've probably seen Banner. It's my sister Rachel there. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you for your feedback as well. For those that are just tuning in for the first time or relatively new, Spiritual Productions are hosting all of this free of charge. I don't know if you know you weren't getting paid, Richard, but thank you very much. He does all of this, and he's pretty much a full-time ambassador for the spirit world. His channel is operating almost all the time, and he's providing these platforms for different spiritual communicators and mediums and ambassadors, healers, tarot card readers. Yvonne, thank you for the feedback. Do support his channel. Please find it on YouTube, subscribe to the updates. There's some brilliant host of talented communicators and demonstrators. Wendy said she heard you, Ray. do please support those channels. And if you want to become a patron of Spiritual Productions, there are opportunities to become one of their very important patrons. And by subscribing to that and giving them a small donation, it helps with the bringing of the website and the services. But for certain functions, it also gives you first in line for sort of mediums, particularly with readings. And Amber says she's a patron. Thank you. I think that if you were doing, for example, tarot card readings, you'd be able to be up there first with one of the people, and you also get some of the exclusive events. I know that next Friday night I'm going to be working with Ivan Lee on Spiritual Productions TV, and one of the things I'm going to do there is a bit of an experiment with some psychic readings, some psychic colour readings, and we'll be giving patrons the first opportunity to give me some colours that they get a psychic reading from. Kim saying well done, Richard. There, good stuff. Right, let's bring in the next communicator. Okay, so I've got a younger lady communicating with me. Hello there, Joe. It's another young lady communicating with all of us. This lady that's communicating from Spirit, this is a younger lady, and I feel like I'm in teen years. I'm seeing the number 7. I don't know if I was 17 or something happened on the 7th. As this young lady communicates with me, she's talking about taking her own life. She's showing me what looks like pills and a bottle, and I feel like I've taken an overdose of medication, drugs, alcohol, and I have taken my own life. I've been responsible for that. I'm looking for someone that would understand this this communicator. Let's get some more information. I'm seeing Francina, Francesca, Francine. I've got this Fran sounding name. Unless she was a big lover of flans, but Fran, I think, is the name I'm hearing. I say I'm hearing. I'm not using my ears. Can only hear Richard and my mum and dad giggling from time to time. But Spirit, I feel like, influencing me. And I feel like it's got this Francesca name being important to me. And I feel there's some questions over my life. Although hello Tracy, bless you. She's telling me she takes responsibility for all of the decisions leading up to the end of the life. But there were some questions over whether or not this was a suicide or an accidental death. And she's showing what looks like a death certificate to me. And I feel that there was an inquiry, there was a post-mortem, there was something around my intention and whether or not I intended to take my own life. Hi there, Bill Hughes. Can't wait for churches to open. I mean, a lot of us are looking forward to that. Do miss the tea, coffee and cake on a Sunday. Okay, so my cousin Tina was 17, took her own life. Michael Mitchell. I assume that's not my brother-in-law, Michael Mitchell. My cousin Tina was 17 and took her own life. Would you understand this? She's using the word experiment, Michael, with alcohol and medication or drugs. It looks like a pot of pills. Would you understand this inquiry? Almost like people were looking at my intention. Was it a deliberate attempt at suicide, or was it? She's saying cry for help, and she's got people asking those questions. And I don't want to reveal the next part of the message unless you can understand that, Michael, as well. Yes, Caroline. She certainly is at peace. Michael, if that makes sense, if you can give us or give Richard confirmation for me, that'd be very much appreciated. I feel like she does link with you. Tina, 17, took her own life. Okay. So if there's anyone else that understands that information. So young lady, possibly around 17, has taken her own life. An experimentation there of alcohol and drugs. And I feel this is lifestyle as well. She's talking about understanding there was a difference in lifestyle there. Lifestyle experimentation, she's saying there. And then it was deliberate. I know she was into drugs. Okay. So she's telling me that there was some questions asked, and what she's trying to give you is that confirmation is that yes, she did intend to take her own life. But what she's saying is that there are other times that and she's mental health. I know that for anyone to take their own life, there's going to be some sort of mental health treatment needed. But she's talking about the fact that I felt like there'd been attempts to help me. She's talking about the fact that she wanted to end her life. She's also talking about the fact that there'd been this change in her culture, a change in her behaviour. And she's talking about she's wrapped in these sort of pills and these bottles. And what she's saying to me is that she is, I don't ask the question, she is absolutely at peace now. And her mind is clear. I feel that this was like an overwhelming sensation that would take her at times. So she's talking about ultimate low moods and being overwhelmed with anxious thoughts and not feeling welcomed or loved. But this didn't last all the time. She's talking about the fact that she was loved. She had family that supported her. It was at times she almost put on the blinkers, like you'd sort of, she's talking about a racehorse, and like my head was down and all I could focus on was the negativity, and that was what consumed me. And she's talking about that being a big part of her mental health journey towards the end of her life. She's also saying that she hadn't, with these blinkers, she hadn't considered the impact on the family. She hadn't considered the impact of all the people that did love her, because she could only focus on that negativity and the things that were in her life. She's also talking a lot about hypothetical worry, things that she had absolutely no way of controlling, but she felt that she was losing control of those situations. Michael. And she's talking about the family not being mum in particular, not being particularly religious, not having a strong faith, but asking, I don't know if someone's planted a seed in her head about the fact that taking your own life might not get you a place in heaven. There's something like that. There's something that's been said within the family, and they've almost not acknowledged it because they don't have that prescribed way of thinking. But she's calling it like a poisonous seed, almost like someone's planted that seed, and she was very angry that they would do that, because she said everyone is welcome over here. I was welcomed immediately, and you know what? I got the help that I couldn't get while I was alive, because I know I was surrounded by that love and support and that light. I know there were people that I could reach out to and speak, but this was a deliberate intention, and I got the help I needed, and I'm well. And there are no more roller coasters of ups and downs. Thank you for accepting, Michael, that you can take all of this. She's talking about the fact it's steady. She is steady again. There's no big climbs and big drops. And that this is magical for her. What she's trying to do now is trying to be surrounded by some of the healing, and the healing transference back to the family, because she's saying that almost in a selfish way she could only see the negativity. She hadn't considered that impact, and she knows there's some healing to do. She wants to apologise, because she's saying that I feel like I've got family members trying to take responsibility for not doing enough. And she's saying that, no, you did more than enough. This was me going out on my terms at my time when I wanted to. And there was going to be no stopping me. I had tried different ways of blocking the pain. I think the drugs and the experimenting of that was almost like, could I keep myself? Could I maintain a higher mood? And she's saying that she could. But none of that makes any difference now. Michael, she asked that you be her messenger for her, and you take that message back, that message of hope, that she is at absolute peace. She is sorry for the circumstances of her death, But she takes full responsibility for this self. She was loved. There was a foundation there, and she recognises now that there were people that were there to help her. What she's saying is, in that state, she was unable to accept all of that help. But she is at peace. She loves you. She loves the family. Michael, she wants to have a drink with you. It pours what looks like it's like a white transparent spirit. I don't know if there's gin or vodka, but I'm putting it into almost like a shooting glass, and I feel like I want to sort of pinch the glass, a small glass to you, and I want to sort of cheers to you, because I feel like you've continued to think about me. And I think you have. You've had a conversation with me, and I don't know if this was you made a cheers or a toast to me, but I was there, and I raised my glass to you, cuz. Thank you for doing that and remembering me. Thank you for acting as my communicator, for passing this message on. I love all of the family. I'm sorry that this happened in the way it did. I'm sorry about the impact it has left. I feel that it's been very difficult for people to move on. In particular, I feel like I've got mum that's difficult to move on and difficult to throw away my stuff. But she's saying that anything that has got no real functional value just needs to be binned. I feel like it's been kept. I know some of it has even almost been bagged or boxed up, but she's saying get rid of it, move on to a new chapter, and know that I'm around you and I'm around the family. Michael, that was your message. Your cousin Tina, the communicator, and she loves you. And thank you for thinking of her, and she raises her glass. Lots of love. That was your message. Okay, I think I've got time for one more message.
Yes.
Yep. Got the yes from the big man, the Reverend Raymond Robinson, Reverend Daddy Ray, president of our church. Richard said he can always cut me off if I don't do as Daddy says. Okay, so my next communicator. I've got a man communicating with me who had not just false teeth, but I want to almost like as if I've lost all of my teeth, and I've got a whole replacement there of teeth. So I'm playing with them. I feel like these aren't. It sounds strange. I have my own teeth. But it feels like this is almost like a mouth guard, and it's I can sort of play with it almost as if it's not stuck, like dentures that aren't stuck properly, and I can push them forward, bring out my lips and my tongue, and I feel this is a bit of a party trick. It's for fun that I'm having this sort of moment. Dad, granddad, uncle. Family. I've got family listening. Heart failure. Thank you there for the feedback, Jackie and Susan. Right, so this man communicating his family, he's talking about having heart problems, he's talking about heart failure, he's talking about not getting to hospital. I feel like this has happened at home, or something has happened to me at home. I've fallen or collapsed with it, and I've had obliterated my heart. I've got these false teeth. I'm having some fun. It's a real sort of party trick, but actually when I'm tired and I'm talking, I feel like my teeth kind of get stuck in my gums, stuck in my way. I don't know if anyone has been reaching out, Richard, and accepting any of that. Okay, then let's get more information. Sydney, Sidders. Oh, what a nickname is. No, I always said that there's a character in my family I never had the opportunity to meet, Uncle Sid. I feel like I've got the memories of being told about my Uncle Sid. I feel that this guy is a legend in his sort of family. And even I feel like I got sillier. Like my personality got sillier the older I got. I never really filter. I never had a filter. Thank you for the love, Sarah. Love and light right back to you. Sorry, I keep fiddling with my earpieces. I've tried a new fashion accessory earpiece today rather than my bright red ones, which were cooking me out. Okay, so Sydney. I've got some sort of I've got musical fingers with this guy. Like I could tap out a beat, or I could have a bit of a jig. It's sort of quite funny, and he's really making me laugh. He's so cheeky. He's got a knotted handkerchief now on his head, and he's dancing around. I feel like I don't know if I'm balancing a pint of beer in my head as well. But I've got like a real sort of joker, someone that's fun. Okay, so Shalane Boone, I think you're saying you'd understand that as your granddad. Your granddad was Sid, and you understand the personality traits with him. You understand the events. So it could be you. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, Shalane. Sarah Woolman had an Uncle Sid as well. I think there's a few other people that would take me as well. Let's get some more information. Come on, friend, step in. Okay, so Sid I think is his name. So this communicator needs to be Sid. He needs to be a bit of father, been an uncle, been a granddad, been the laugh and lights of the family, and needs to have passed with this heart condition at home. So Shalane's saying she can take it all. I think then, Shalane, I am with you. I know her. I know her. That's my girl. He just said to me. So Shalane, I think I am with you. Other people, if you've got an Uncle Sid, they're going to have some fun with Granddad Sid here to a certain extent as well. So Shalane, as I link in with you, he just wants to make you smile. He feels there's been enough. I feel like I've got some colourful language. I'm not going to repeat on a Sunday morning on Divine Service on Facebook, but he is. There's been enough blimmin' misery. He didn't use the word blimmin', but he's doing. And he wants to cheer you up, he wants to smile, and he sort of wants to dance around with this silly handkerchief on his head, this pint of beer that he's sort of trying to on. And he's talking about the fact that he was glad he went in the way he went, as opposed to have spent time at hospital. He's talking about the fact that he thinks that there was good morning, George Wood, thank you. He's telling me, Shalane, that he would have hated to go to hospital. He had the fear of dying in hospital was worse than the actual fear of death. And he's talking about the fact that it was a release in the end, because he got to live a fairly independent life, he said. Obviously, I was relying on a few people to do. I think you were one of those people, Sheila. And you done things for me. You did a bit of running around and a bit of ducking and diving for me. I've got this South London. No, it's not South London. I think it's maybe even East London, more of a Cockney sort of link. And he's saying, yeah, you did a lot of good things for me, Gail. Was saying you've done a lot of good things for me, Gail. But I was fairly independent. I felt like I was still going, and I was marching to the beat of my own drum. And actually, yeah, take some comfort in knowing that for me it was a relief. It was a relief to go when I did, how I did, and almost boom, really sort of quick. And actually, whatever happened, it was an obliteration. So I know that there was this fear that perhaps if I'd been discovered or found earlier, that more help could have been done. He's talking about the fact that it was an obliteration. What happened? I feel like I've had something that's destroyed, and this wouldn't have been something. This was nothing to do with like a fibrillating heart that could have been defibrillated. It's talking about the fact it's obliterated and come back. And he's passed over and been accepted. He's talking about he would have had a laugh with you about this, Shalane, almost like there was a little bit of karma there. He wondered if it inherited a bit of karma debt and whether or not he wouldn't have got as far as the pearly gates. But he said it wasn't like that at all. It wasn't that he was weighed up and judged in any sort of way. He was the bigger judge of himself. It was his higher self who had to look back down at himself and look at the life he lived. And he had, he's telling me, he had the heart of gold. And he was a little bit naughty and a little bit cheeky at times, but he had the heart of gold, and he never did anything evil. And as he looks back on his life, he sums it up and says he's quite happy. But Shalane, he's saying, keep on smiling, girl. Keep on doing those things. Take some more time up for yourself. He's telling me you're juggling everyone else. He's calling them monkeys. You're juggling everyone else's monkeys at the moment. Deal with your own monkeys. Give them back their own monkey. Put your monkey on your shoulders. Go for a walk, girl, and have some fun with that. Know that he is around you. He loves you. He's doing silly things to make you dance, and he wants you to have a bit of a sing-song, like a good old-fashioned sort of woof-up. And he's wanting to put a drink in your hand and say, enjoy the sunshine, worry less about other people's worries, and just focus on your own. Shalane, that was your message, and that was your communicator, Grandad Sid. Lovely bloke, makes me really smile, funny with his teeth. Thank you much for that. And for those people that understood bits of that, as I said to people at the beginning of the service, rest assured that if you think that I had your communicator, perhaps I did, because your communicators are probably with you, and you're getting that imprint, you're getting that instinct from them. But our loved ones are around us. I have absolutely no doubt that our life, our personality continues after that change we call death, after we finish with this physical body. But there's some wonderful opportunities coming up for us all to look at a new normality, a new way of living. And we shouldn't be in a rush to return to a state of normality. We should be looking forward to the opportunities and excitement about the new normality. Have a think about what that new normality looks like for you. Know that our spirit guides, our spirit friends, our loved ones are there with unconditional love to support us and guide us should we desire. So if we desire that help, try and find a little bit of space and a little bit of silence. Ask them for that inspiration. Ask them for that confirmation. Thank you, friends, for playing that experiment with me, for understanding that evidence of life after death, and wonderful to get some of our truths from Spiritualism shared. I've been Ashley Robinson, your medium. Thank you.
Congratulations. Take after your father in all aspects. And your mum. Okay, friends, just want to say a few words before we go on to the next part of the service. I know how people have been very conscious of the emails and texts that both Jackie and I have received this week. They're fearful of passing into the spirit, or they've got family and friends that are seriously ill in hospital. And if we're on a spiritual path and trying to follow the spiritualist way of life, we have to understand, without doubt, without hesitation, there is continuing life. As frightening as that can be for somebody or family that are facing that with somebody in hospital, we have to understand also there's the great successes of what's being done in this world from people coming out of hospital. And a great person to be witness to is this Captain Tom. He's done so much to cheer this world up. It's been fantastic, and we need to do that. Now, my dad, some of you would have known Derek Robinson, but my dad was always a bit cheerful man. He always saw the bright side of life. He could be down at times, but in the broad sense of the word, he was cheerful. And he always tried to install into me, if you've got the have it on your own, or go out to the world and do something with that and turn it positive. I found a spiritual book at church. It's called Man's Desires and Fulfillments. It's by a spirit guy called Burning Sands. It was written in 1947 to 48, and this book was published. It's very rare you find these books of the day. And the teaching in there in chapter 1 says, today it has become more than ever apparent in this physical world there is a need of leadership. Leadership combined with complete understanding. Leadership that can only be understood by perfect cooperation of mankind, spirit world and the God. Now, all of us are instruments of God. All of us have that gift of the spirit to go out into the world to make a difference. Now, you will say, how can we go out in the world, Ray? We're stuck indoors. Well, we can still do all our prayers and our healing and our distant thoughts within our own homes, within our own families. Now, I know how starved I've been by not seeing my grandkids. I also know how annoying Claire and Ashley have felt by having the grandkids around them 24/7. But those grandkids of ours bring me so much joy when I see them. And so much you have to find within this world that brings you joy. Ashley just gave a message recently to somebody who was Sid. Now, as Ashley said, it was my great uncle Sid. He was like a granddad to me. And he worked for my dad and my uncle Tony. And over the years, he did some of the most ridiculous things. He really did. And he did some of the most funniest things. On one occasion, he had this little boy in front of him in the shop. And this little boy very proudly holding up his plastic bag with his little goldfish in it. And Uncle Sid told him that the goldfish was drowning. There was too much water in there. And this little boy went back to the pet shop owner and got a new goldfish. We have to look at our lives and see what we are carrying. Is it too much? If it's too much, give it back to God. If it's not enough, ask God to fulfill your hearts and minds with the spirit of love and joy. If it's wonderful to live this world, we need to enjoy this world. It is quite horrific at the moment. Deciding what the government is doing, good or for bad, or the opposition parties are doing good for bad, we live in a great world. Yes, we have a pandemic, and it is frightening, and it is terrifying. And I know how scared I've been because of Jackie catching anything. But we need now to go forward in our lives and bring forward the truths and understanding that spiritualism has to offer this world. It's just not life after death. It's just not healing by the power of the Spirit. Spiritualism is there for the whole of mankind, to spiritualize their beings, to spiritualize their souls, and to bring comfort and joy to each other and to the world. We could all be and should be instruments for healing now. We should all look to the sadness we see with the amount of deaths that we have, send healing and thoughts out to the world. But we should also look what we have in front of us. Maybe we live in a neighbourhood that needs friendship. Where Jackie and I live in Mitcham, there's only the two of us that go do the clap on a Thursday night. So that's fine. We make a total monkeys of ourselves doing it. But it's important we let the National Health Service know that we support them. The family has a number of people in different parts of the NHS working very hard. And we now need to do our bit. We need to help spiritualize this world, bring in the truth of life after death, of healing by the power of Spirit, to bring comfort to the needs of those within our communities, be it Wimbledon Church, Hatbridge Church, all the other spiritualist churches. I noticed something on the screen earlier where it said, when this is all over, I'm going to go and find a spiritualist church. Find that spiritualist church now. Find that truth. Yes, you can't go, but you can find it. You can join us online. You can join other people online who are trying to bring the light to this world. I've been in spiritualism now for over 50 years. I came into spiritualism when I was 11 years old, around about 1970. And I remember how different spiritualism was into now. But I know how great spiritualism is, what difference it's made in my life. I am now a spiritualist minister with the United Spiritualists, as is Jackie and some of the other people at Wimbledon Church. But what we need to do is practice what we believe, practice what we preach, go out to everyone we meet and share that truth, share that understanding of life after death. Bring comfort to those we meet and encounter. Bring the knowledge that you have within yourself. The knowledge may only be partial, but that partial knowledge is better than no knowledge. I myself, the last few weeks, have felt unwell. As you can see, I've got a bit of a cold sore here. But people far worse off than me. I can remember my dad when he was having his cancer treatment at Royal Marsden. I took him along there, and those of you who knew Dad, you knew how scared he was of going to the hospital and having his treatments. And I was sitting in the reception at Royal Marsden waiting for his ambulance to take us back home. And suddenly a load of children came from different parts of the hospital that had all had treatment one way or another. And Dad looked at them, and he got eyes filled with tears, and he said, Ray, I've been a bit of a, anyway, that word, and I've lived my life, but these kids are yet to live their life. If you ever have kids, grandkids, you must look after them. You must instill into them the truth and knowledge that you have received over the years from your own understanding. Now, my dad was one of those guys from the 50s and 60s who ducked and dived. He did lots of things over his life, especially in Brixton Market and other markets. But we need to now go forward. We need to look, pick our idols, pick our people to focus on. If it's the Prime Minister, it's the Prime Minister. If it's other ministers, it's other ministers. If it's other spiritualists, do that. Because spiritualism has the answer. There's a young man on screen now called Anthony Lapsley. And I were talking at church many years ago. And he said to me, Ray, I'm trying to bring spiritualism in the 21st century. And I said, yes, but I'm still stuck in the 18th. Doesn't matter where we are with our spiritualism. It matters that we are spiritualists and we bring those truths. And when I hear those messages of hope from Ashley this morning and other mediums over the very past few weeks, and then when I was at church, to see and hear those messages and see people receive those messages, it was a great thing. As I say, I've been a spiritualist nearly over 3/4 of my life. I've seen mediums come and I've seen mediums go. The founding mediums of LAD Promotions was Jessie Nason, Gordon Higginson, Doris Stokes, and of course my dad. And those mediums took the message of spiritualism out to the world. They wanted to bring spiritualism to the people. And by what we're doing here with Richard and Spiritual Productions, we're taking that message out. We are reaching people that I have never thought we could reach just from Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. And we wish to continue this all the way home till we open the church. And I wish to continue it from then. In St. Paul's teachings, he talks about to his disciple Timothy, how when the season is in, bring the message of hope. When the season goes out of season, bring that message back into season. The life we live and the life we practice is great and wonderful, but we need now to go forward. So many people out there and so many people watching now need that hope, need that strength, need that knowledge of life after death. And if this morning you haven't received a message, please don't be downhearted, but know instead that your loved ones are around you. There's people there continually trying to communicate with you one way or another. Feel that message. Feel within yourself and build that rainbow bridge from this world to the next world. And as Colin Fry used to say, the wonderful Colin Fry, let's bring the two worlds a little bit closer. Let's do this. Let's continually bring the two worlds together. And may God in his infinite wisdom bless and keep you always. Amen. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ray, for a very inspiring address. You know, we need to make sure that you're on every Sunday morning. We just have one or two notices before we close in prayer. Once again, we want to thank Richard for hosting this lovely event for us. I know that he does have various other events on. There's an afternoon special this coming afternoon at 2:30 with the Sunday Sofa, and there is a fantastic psychic artist that's going to be on, so not to be missed. So make sure you tune in for that. And as Ashley mentioned, he will be on Friday the 8th of May, and that'll be in the evening. So make sure that you look and you see everything that's coming on Spiritual Productions. And as I say, go forth, you know, be positive, be optimistic, look for the light amongst the darkness, take other people into the light. The more we talk negatively, more negativity comes around us. We have to see that we will be out there again. We will be in that wonderful garden from our meditation earlier. It might take a little while to get there, but with a little bit of luck, we may be halfway through. And we just take it a day at a time. Sometimes we may feel a little low, but just go forward and know that we can phone someone. We need to phone up our friends and our family, cheer them up. Have a look through your address book later and see who you can give a call to. Get yourself out in the sunshine, even if it's for 5 minutes. Keep yourself positive. Keep that hope. Keep that love. Keep that healing energy going round all of you, and blessings on all of you until we again come online with you for next Sunday's service. Also, look at us on Facebook, and if you've never been to a Spiritualist church before, as Ray said, now is your chance to look it up online, see what's going on, see what's in your community, and go forward. Make this day one, rather than say, one day I'll look into it. No, make this day one of the new you, the being positive you, the you that sees the glass half full and knows your glass will be full again. So we thank you all for tuning in. If we just close together, we just have that few moments where we all join. And if you can imagine all your friends, all your family being next to you, holding hands, creating a big circle around this world, so that we can give love and healing to all of those in need, and to keep our mental well-being, and know that together we are all in this, and together we will come through this. We ask our Mother, Father God, to bless all homes represented here, all friends seen and unseen, until we meet again. Amen.
Amen. And remember, friends, there is a peace of God that passes all understanding. It keeps your hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God and of the spirit world. And with that blessing, as Jackie said, we depart in peace, now and forevermore. Amen. So mote it be. Thank you, Richard.